Welcome back to another episode of Dental Marketing Theory. I'm your host, Gary Bird. I'm the founder of SMC National, where we help you create, convert, and close more new patients so you can grow the way that you want. But you can't grow your dental practice if your patients are getting sick from the retainers that you send them home with. They are being grossed out, and I've personally had this experience where my retainers became so disgusting that I just stopped using them. And there's some things on the market that people use that probably aren't the best for your health. And today I'm super excited because I got the opportunity to talk with Jessica, who is the founder and CEO of Tasty Clean. And she broke down her product of how she's breaking into the dental industry and actually providing a service that no one else is providing and no one has seen an opportunity for. I'm super excited to share this story with you, and I'm sure it'll bring some value to your practice. Stay tuned.
We're kind of neglecting this really huge piece of the puzzle, which is the petri dish that we put in our mouths at night or during the day, you know, the night guards and the retainers and the Invisalign that are just trapping the bacteria in there.
Yeah, if it's gross, then people aren't going to wear it. And then the dentist gets blamed for why aren't my teeth straight, right? It's like flossing, right? Like it's the same thing. Everybody says they floss, but no one actually flosses. And then it's like, why do my gums bleed? My gums only bleed when you poke them. It's like, no. Your gums are bleeding because you haven't taken care of them.
And I was like, I need these answers. Like, do I go to baby or do I go to dental? Like, this is very important business right now.
All right, we are live, and I'm excited to have my friend Jessica here today. So Jessica, why don't you tell me how you got into the dental industry?
Well, Gary, I mean, I kind of, like many others, happened into it, but I was also kind of pushed or pulled into it by our consumers. We actually started for the baby market. So
wow.
Tasty Clean was invented for like pacifiers and baby toys and things like that. After my son, who I like to call him spirited, he was a toddler at the time, which really just meant he liked to have tantrums everywhere and embarrass the crap out of me. So one day he dropped it was actually a sucker, and he dropped it in a very public place and had like that epic TV meltdown where he was like rolling around on the floor, just freaking out. And everybody stopped and looked at me like, get your kid. I couldn't give him this sucker back. I didn't have another sucker. And I was literally traumatized like to my core because everybody's like, oh my God. So at that time, I kind of set out to create a natural product for babies that you could just spray on something and give it right back to them. Well, as we were exploring the market, people started saying, well, our slogan was, cleans the items that go in your mouth. So people were like, hey, what about my retainer? What about my night guard? What about all these things? So we took a step back and we looked at the market. We did a couple years of research, and not only did we realize that there was a huge void in the market for products like Tasty Clean, we realized that it was actually super duper effective at cleaning, killing the bacteria and the different things that really plague the dental market, the bad odors, the biofilms, the calculus buildup, all these things. So we were like, oh my gosh, like there's really something here. And we just kind of stumbled upon it kind of accidentally.
So yeah, walk me through that. So that's a really, really cool story. So, and that's, that's how most businesses start, right? So the hardest part I always tell people about a business is starting because you're stepping into the unknown. But then when you step into the unknown, you get some knowledge and you get some feedback, and then you go, oh, I was off by 10 degrees. I thought what people wanted. It wasn't what people wanted. It's going to be slightly different, a different opportunity. Marketing to moms is totally different than marketing to dentists. And serving moms is totally different than serving dentists, obviously. So walk me through how that journey kind of happened. Like, how did you figure that out? How did you go, oh, I got to pivot to dentist? And did you go all in on dentist 100%?
Yeah. Well, one of the first things that we did was I was really on the fence about it because my baby was supposed to be in the beauty pageant of the baby world, not the dental world, right? So I was like, this is not what I intended. So I kind of gave a little kickback, which I probably shouldn't have. And then a friend of mine is a marketing guru, and her name is Janika. And she was like, you need to step back and you need to do the market research. And we all know that is not cheap. It's very scary for a small business. But I stepped back and I was like, I need need these answers. Like, do I go to baby or do I go to dental? Like, this is very important business right now. So I actually did the market research, which glaringly told me that baby was not our market. You know, there was things that we couldn't tell people that it kills all these germs that it does kill. Tasty Clean is proven to kill lots of germs, but we couldn't put that in our marketing information. So we had to take a step back and do not only the path of least resistance, but the one that was proven to be our market, right?
Especially
and so now I had hardcore evidence.
Okay, so you had hardcore evidence that, so you had hardcore evidence that you were in the right market and what you were doing, or which one?
Well, that pivoting to dental was the market we needed to be in. So it was kind of you're not in the right market.
How did you come to that? Like, what was the final thing where you went, what was the data point that you were like, I'm in the right market now, or this is the right market for me?
So when the consumer market research showed that 70% of the consumers would use it for a dental appliance and 45% would use it for the baby market, you only need like 65% consumer approval rating to be considered a viable product in a market. So it was obvious when we saw those results that, there was still a lot of baby, and we're not going to turn our back on baby because 45% of a bajillion-dollar market is still really great. But I think what really set the tone for me was when I started to dip my toe in the dental market, and I started to see such a lack of knowledge around how to clean appliances and such a lack of emphasis being placed on it. Nobody is really emphasizing how to and the importance of cleaning these removable appliances, which really shocked me, especially with the focus on, the whole oral systemic health focus that is going on now, that we're kind of neglecting this really huge piece of the puzzle, which is the petri dish that we put in our mouths at night or during the day, the night guards and the retainers and the Invisalign that are just trapping the bacteria in there.
What exactly did you add what did you actually do with your product that made dentists go, oh, I actually need this? Like the way we're doing it is wrong.
Well, so what we've been doing is kind of really trying to educate and not even needing to educate, but hygienists, I think, are the people who really understand this particular pain point the most, because hygienists get people that bring these devices in all the time and they're like, oh my God, this is disgusting. And here, clean it for me. Clean my night guard for me. Clean this disgusting thing for me. So I think that it's obvious that they need to be cleaned, but this is the mission that I'm on now, and doing things like talking to you and just trying to really emphasize to people that we're not paying enough attention to this particular pain point. And it just and then maybe because I'm ignorant, so I have night guards. Okay, so I have my night guards every night. I put them in peroxide, or every day. So when I wake up in the morning, I put them in a thing of peroxide. Then at night, I rinse them off, put them in my mouth, right? But before I was doing that, they were getting nasty. And so I was trying to scrub them and soap and a toothbrush. And it was a lot of work. And it was every day because they would get nasty every single day. So what is your product doing that's different from that? Well, first of all, our product is made with vinegar. There is 0 chemicals, which unfortunately a lot of dental products have. They're just full of chemicals, the fizzy tablets. They have persulfate in them. Persulfate is a chemical that is now regulated by the FDA. You have to put it on your packaging. Efferdent has it on there. A lot of those big names have it in there. And it is known to physically make us ill. Yet it is still being used in a lot of these products because people just don't know that these things make you sick. Because if you're getting sick, you're not going to think, oh, it's my denture cleaner that's making me sick. You're not going to put those links together, right? So one of the things, like you mentioned, brushing them actually degrades the material. So there's a lot of different things that people are doing because they're not being told what they should be doing. So that is the problem. We use vinegar, which is completely safe. You mentioned multiple steps there that you have to do, right? You have to do it and get the cup and soak it and all this. With Tasty Clean, you literally take this spray bottle that is travel friendly. You can take it. It's 2 ounces, TSA friendly. You spray it on there. It gets the gunk, all that slimy stuff you were talking about. It kills the bacteria that actually causes that biofilm to build up. So what's happening is you spray it on there. You let it air dry. Let's say you take it out in the morning. You spray it on there. You let it air dry during the day. That is all you have to do. You don't have to rinse it off. You have to zero effort. You can literally just spray it, let it dry, and you are preventing any of that slime from forming on there in the first place without the use of any chemicals.
And then does it taste good too at the end?
Yeah. I mean, obviously taste is a very personal thing, but,
but is it like bubble gum or what like?
Yeah. So we have our mint flavor. We have cherry, apple, and we are launching this week. You'll be the first to know our new blue raspberry flavor, which is coming out, and I'm super excited about it.
How do you make those flavors? Are those natural flavors, or how do you do that so it's not like red dye 7, you know what I mean, or whatever?
Yeah. There's no dyes. They're actually all natural flavors that you would find in like natural foods and beverages. So everything in Tasty Clean is a food grade ingredient that you could find in any food or beverage in any health store, really. And all of our ingredients are on our label. So we don't hide anything. Everything is completely transparent and safe to ingest. So you could literally spray it in your mouth and be just fine. My kids have tested that very thoroughly.
That is so cool. So then, so are you now, what's your like journey from here? Are you trying to, and this is just me learning, right? So are you trying to sell directly to dentists? Are you trying to go direct to consumer? Where are your, speaking in the dental industry, where are your main focuses right now?
The answer is yes. So I'm trying to obviously direct to consumer, but I feel like every single person who leaves a dental, orthodontic, periodontist, like any of those offices with an appliance should leave with a bottle of Tasty Clean to establish that habit from the beginning so that you have a way to keep it clean and you're not doing what Gary Bird did and fumbling through all these different options trying to find the right one, right? And dentists can literally include this cost-free to them, roll it into the cost of the package, and it's a win-win for everybody. But those appliances need to go home with some way to clean it so that people understand how to take care of these appliances. Because what happens is if they don't know how to take care of it, they don't wear it because it's gross. And then the patient doesn't get the full benefit of the care that they need.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, because if it's gross, then people aren't going to wear it, and then they're not going to. They paid for, and then the dentist gets blamed for why aren't my teeth straight, right? And it's like it's
especially
the same thing
night guards.
It's like flossing, right? Like it's the same thing. Everybody says they floss, but no one actually flosses. And then it's like, why do my gums bleed when you come here? When my gums only bleed when you poke them. It's like, no. Your gums are bleeding because you haven't taken care of them. Yeah.
The mad dash to floss, right? Like the day before you go to the dentist. So It's just one of those things where if you don't establish those habits from the beginning, the odds of people doing it just decline rapidly. And then nobody wins.
Okay, awesome. So you're trying to go direct to consumer and to the dentist right now?
Yeah.
How's that? Which road is harder? Which road is easier?
It's shocking because I thought that the dental road would be a lot easier, and it actually has ended up being a lot harder. So I think it's just, like we talked about with habits, getting people to change habits can be really hard until they've seen how much more beneficial it can be to try something new. So, we're big on sampling so people can see how awesome the product really is at keeping these things clean.
And then what's been the hardest part about approaching dentists? Like what's been the tricky part there? Like why wouldn't they all be on board? Like what am I missing?
Well, first of all, Gary, I'm not from the dental world. So I literally had to learn dentistry, which, obviously I'm not going to be a dentist. I haven't paid all those big bucks to go to dentistry. Yep. So I'm learning a brand new market. And as I'm sure you know, dentistry is a very relationship driven industry, So I kind of had to start from square one and get in there. And I've met some really amazing people along the way who have been very helpful. But I think it's just establishing that trust factor, and showing them how really awesome the product is, because it's all about trust. Nobody wants to peddle snake oil. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's
but we
a good
do
point.
have lab results and all kinds of tests that we've done that we can show, that it really does work. So
that's awesome. And then what has been the road to direct to consumer? How's that gone?
It's going good, but the challenge that we have is that I'm also a small bootstrapped company. We don't have the bajillion-dollar budgets that a lot of dental companies have. So right now we're just kind of looking for an investor to kind of help us get that up and running. But, we have reorders and people are catching on and loving it. So it's just a matter of time.
That's so awesome. Well, I appreciate you coming on and sharing all this awesome stuff. And it sounds like you're really passionate about it and you're trying to help people, which usually goes really, really well when you combine those two things together. If someone wants to learn more about your product, where's the best, or wants to connect with you, what's the best way to do that?
For our product, you can go to tastyclean.com. And if anybody would like to chat, you can email me. It's just Jessica, Jessica @tastyclean.com.
Awesome, Jessica. Thanks so much for coming on. You did a great job.
Thank you, Gary.